So to make this, we're gonna go ahead and put down a lot of pepperoni slices right onto the pan. The pan is nice and hot. So this is actually gonna allow the pepperoni to get nice and hot and the natural oils will come off. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and get some mozzarella cheese. So go ahead and get your mozzarella cheese and we're gonna start putting it all over this, okay? So this mozzarella cheese is shredded and you can use the low fat one or you can use the whole milk one. It does not matter, guys. All you need to know is that this pizza roll is so good, and once you cut into it, it is just the best. Now we're gonna go ahead and get some Mexican style cheese. So yes, I know we're gonna use 2 cheeses. It sounds a little funky, but I'm telling you guys, this stuff is so good. If you've had a normal pizza roll, get ready to have your mind blown by this because the mix of these 2 cheeses is phenomenal. I mean, it just brings the whole pizza roll thing to a next level, which is why I'm doing it. So go ahead and do that. Now we're gonna go ahead and start seasoning with some black pepper. Put that black pepper all over it. You wanna go ahead and fully season just like that. We're gonna go ahead and get some crushed red chili flakes. We're gonna do a lot of this stuff, guys, because I like a little spice. You can skip this step if you'd like. We're gonna do some basil, of course, because basil is in every Italian dish. So of course we need it in our amazing pizza rolls. And last but not least, some oregano. Okay, so go ahead, throw your oregano down there, just like that. As you can see, the cheese is starting to melt. And once you see that's going, get your tortilla and put it right on top. So this tortilla is gonna stick to the cheese, and that cheese is sticking to the pepperoni, which is exactly what you want. You don't need any oil or anything in the pan beforehand because as you can see, the oils from the pepperoni are coming off and are the oil being used for no sticking, okay? Let this sit for a little bit and we're gonna go ahead and flip it up. And we're gonna go ahead and flip. Look at that, guys. This looks phenomenal. We're gonna let that side start cooking and get nice and brown. While this side is cooking, I always like to season a little bit as well. That way we can get double seasoning. So we're gonna go ahead and reapply some basil and some red chili flakes. I love it spicy, so go ahead and add that there, and we're gonna let that bottom cook. Go ahead and put it right down onto our cutting board, just like this. Perfect. And as you can see, if I show you guys this side, it's nice and just a little bit browned. We're gonna go ahead and let this sit for just a second, and then we're gonna start rolling it. Start rolling this now, just like this. Perfect. So you wanna roll it into a burrito shape, just like I'm doing, okay? Perfect. And as you can see, I let it brown, so it's nice and crispy, so every bite is gonna be delicious. Now what we're gonna do is cut it in half, just like this. And I wanna show you what it looks like first. Look at that. Perfect. So what I like to do now is we're gonna cut it into a few more pieces. There we have one. Perfect. And I always make at least 6 little slices out of these pizza rolls, okay? Perfect. Now that these are cut, we're gonna go ahead and start plating them. So I always like to use a slate plate, and I like to just turn them upwards, just like that, so you can see exactly what you're eating. Oh my goodness, look at that cheese. It looks so delicious, guys. I'm telling you, this stuff is a game changer. Okay, there we go. So these pizza rolls are so good, and of course what I like to do is I get a little of my shredded cheese, and we're gonna go ahead and just top it off very nicely, just like that. And just like this, guys, look at it. It looks so good. Of course, I top it with a little bit more chili flakes, and I like to do a little bit of oregano right on top. Beautiful. I hope you guys enjoy these delicious pizza rolls. Oh my goodness, look at that. So we're gonna start by cutting up our broccoli into tiny, tiny pieces. But you wanna make sure that you have steamed the broccoli first so it's nice and soft. Now that we have this all cut up, we're gonna grab an egg, throw it right into all of this, just like that. Perfect. Now we just need one egg. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab some shredded mozzarella cheese, guys. This we want about a handful of. There we go. Just about that much is perfect. We're then gonna go ahead and grab some grated Parmesan cheese. So go ahead, throw in about 1/4 of a cup. There we go, perfect. Once we have that in there, we're gonna grab some minced garlic. Now minced garlic is so good, guys. You don't need too much of it. It goes very, very far, and it's very strong. Now that we have that all in there, we're gonna get to seasoning. So we're gonna start off with some onion powder. There we go, throw a good amount in there. Perfect. Now I just eyeball it, guys. I recommend just doing the same, you know, figure out what flavor you like best. You'll know if you use too much parsley or too much of this or that, you know. Now we got some oregano. Oregano is so good, guys. It's in so many Italian and other dishes, so I always make sure to use it. We got some basil. Again, always in Italian dishes, so use a good amount of that. Ooh. Now we're gonna get some sea salt. I got the coarse one. You can use whichever salt you have at home. It really does not matter. We're gonna grab some black pepper. We're gonna open up the bigger end. Now I like a lot of black pepper, guys. Black pepper is so good. Throw it right in there. And last but not least, red chili flakes. Go ahead and throw some of this in here. If you like a little spice, a little kick, then definitely add this. Perfect. Now we're gonna go ahead and get to mixing. So go ahead, get in there. That egg is what's gonna actually allow this whole thing to kind of stick together. So you'll see that egg in a second. Oh, there we go, there it is. Right, this is all ready to go. We're gonna throw this onto our baking sheet now. Okay guys, now we're gonna go ahead and start putting our crust right into here. So go ahead, we're gonna make 3 little piles for our circular little mini pizzas, just like I'm doing. Perfect. Last one's gonna be right here. Amazing. So what I like to do, you can use your fingers or you could just use your spatula. Right now I'm gonna kind of just use my spatula. There we go. Create the little ball with your spatula. Amazing. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and toss this into the oven now. We're gonna toss this in the oven for 20 minutes at 375 degrees. These are all ready to go, guys. We're gonna take them out, top them, and throw it back in. Now that these are all done, we're gonna go ahead and grab our shredded mozzarella cheese, and we're gonna start topping each one of these little guys, okay? There we go. Put some cheese there, put some cheese there, and we're gonna put some cheese on this guy. Now, if you wanted to, feel free to put some marinara sauce, you know, below it, but I usually just like to put it on the side. That way I can kind of just dip my little mini pizzas right into it. Perfect. Now that we have that going, we're gonna go ahead and grab some pepperoni. So, since these are mini pizzas, I'm gonna show you what I like to do to these. I always go ahead and cut them. So we're gonna grab them, cut them in half. There we go. And once they're cut in half, we're gonna cut them one more time. Amazing. That way they come out to be little triangles like this. And then you can go ahead and just put on as many little triangles as you want. There we go. If you are not a fan of pepperoni, guys, that is totally okay. You know, you can go ahead and use some sausage. You can go ahead and do some pineapple. You could do olives. You could do impossible meat. I mean, there's so many possibilities, guys. Just have fun with it. This is your mini pizza. Do it however you want. Perfect. We're gonna toss this back in. Okay, guys, we're gonna toss this right back in for 15 minutes until that cheese gets nice and gooey and good. These are all ready to go, guys. Look at that cheese. We're gonna go ahead and plate them. Okay, guys, these are all ready to go. Look at how tasty they look. First things first, I always like to top it with some Parmigiano Reggiano to really just enhance the flavor. We're gonna go ahead and top it. And of course, we're gonna throw some red into our marinara sauce. Perfect. Now let me show you guys exactly what this looks like. Look at the bottom, nice and crispy. And I'm gonna pull this apart so you can get an idea of the gooey, cheesy. Oh my goodness, look at that. And as you can see, the broccoli's all down there. So delicious. I hope you guys enjoy. This is exactly how they should come out, guys. So we're gonna start by cutting our tortillas halfway through with some scissors, take them out of the bag, and we're gonna go ahead and fold them into a cup, just like so, and put them into your muffin tray. All right, now that we have all of these in here, guys, we're gonna go ahead and grab some pepperoni, and we're gonna go ahead and start adding lots of pepperoni to all of these guys, okay? So go ahead, wrap it all around, just like this. You wanna put a decent amount of pepperoni in there. That way, every bite is just super, super delicious. So have fun with it, add whatever toppings you want. This is supposed to be fun, guys, okay? Not only is it fun, but it's actually super delicious. So, you know, keep that in mind. You're about to have a fun little creative moment with these, but you're also gonna get a really, really tasty treat out of them as well. So it's definitely a big win-win in my head. Perfect, so we got our pepperoni in here. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab our shredded mozzarella cheese, of course, and we're gonna start throwing a good amount of cheese right into here. So really load them up just like this. Make sure they're nice and loaded up like this. They should practically be covering all of your pepperoni. Okay, so keep that in mind. You want to practically cover up your pepperoni just like I'm doing, because as we bake it, the cheese is going to kind of go down that middle. So it's going to get flatter. So always put a lot of cheese just like that. Perfect. Now we're going to get a tiny bit of minced garlic, guys. We just want a tiny little bit. So go ahead and just kind of sprinkle it right on there. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Now this garlic goes a long way, so you really only need a little bit. That is something I've learned over my years of cooking. Little garlic goes a long, long way. Okay, now we have that garlic in there. We're gonna go ahead and grab some Parmigiano Reggiano. We're gonna sprinkle some right on top of all of these guys. This stuff is some strong, yummy cheese. So I always like to add this as well so it can all bake together. Perfect. Now we're gonna season. We got some basil right here. Every good Italian dish needs some basil. So make sure you top it with your basil, just like this. Perfect. Amazing, amazing. Once you have your basil on there, grab some red chili flakes. We're gonna top it with our red chili flakes. Not only do these add some spice, but it actually adds a beautiful red color on top of that green, which I always, always, always love. Perfect. All right. And last but not least, before we throw it in the oven, we're gonna grab some pesto. Now, I like to kind of just do a little dollop of pesto right on two sides, just like that. Perfect. Now, this just adds a little bit more color. It also adds a little bit more flavor, which I love. I love, love, love using pesto, guys. And it just kind of allows it to bake and get a more baked flavor to it, which is always delicious in my head. So there we go. We're adding our little bit of pesto. Now, if you're not a huge pesto fan, that's totally okay. You can go ahead and skip this step if you'd like. Perfect. Now we're going to toss this into our oven. Okay, guys, it's time to throw these right into our oven. We're gonna bake them for 20 minutes at 350 degrees. Okay, guys, these are ready to go. we're gonna go ahead and take these right out of the oven, and we're gonna actually add some toppings. These are all ready to go, guys, but we're gonna go ahead and actually add some Parmesan cheese, of course, just to really bring this whole thing together. As you can see, I let it get nice and crispy and delicious, which is exactly what you want to do as well. Perfect. So now we're gonna go ahead and plate these. So we're gonna go ahead and move these right over. Perfect. And I always like to plate them by just taking them right out. There we go. And we're gonna go ahead and put them around our marinara sauce. So these come right out, as you can see, and are looking so delicious. Now, one of my favorite things about these is you can just walk with them and eat them, and they are just so easy to work with and eat with, okay? This is exactly how they should come out, guys. We're gonna go ahead and try one.